The story of Cinderella and Heidi. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. Cinderella lived with her father and his second wife and their 2 daughters. Cinderella's stepmother was a wicked woman and her daughters were vain. They would often make Cinderella work all day long in the house. One day, the queen announced a grand ball that would be attended by the prince of the land. Cinderella dreamed of going to the ball, but she knew that her stepmother and stepsisters would not let her go. That evening, Cinderella was sitting in her room, feeling sad, when a kind fairy appeared before her. The fairy said to Cinderella, "Don't be sad, Cinderella, I will help you go to the ball." Cinderella's wish was granted, and her tattered clothes turned into a beautiful dress, her dirty hair turned into long, shiny hair, and her old shoe turned into a glass slipper. Cinderella went to the ball, and she was the most beautiful girl there. The prince was surprised to see her, and he fell in love with her immediately. They danced together all night long, and the prince felt that Cinderella was the girl he would marry. But Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters discovered that she had gone to the ball. They ran after her, and as Cinderella was running down the stairs, her glass slipper fell off. The prince picked up the slipper and announced that he would marry the girl who the slipper fit. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters tried to put on the slipper, but they could not. Finally, Cinderella came down and put on the slipper. The prince was very happy, and he announced that he would marry her. Cinderella and the prince got married, and they lived happily ever after. Meanwhile, there was another beautiful girl living in the Alps named Heidi. Heidi lived with her grandfather, who was a kind and generous man. Heidi loved nature and loved to play with animals. One day, a wealthy woman came to the mountain with her daughter, who was sick. The woman hoped that nature would help her to heal. Heidi became friends with the woman's daughter, whose name was Clarissa. Clarissa was a kind and sensitive girl, but she was also sick and lonely. Heidi helped Clarissa to recover from her illness. Heidi would take her outside to play with the animals, and she would tell her stories. One day, Heidi and Clarissa were playing in the forest when they found a glass slipper. They did not know who owned the slipper, but they decided to search for its owner. Heidi and Clarissa searched for the owner of the slipper all over the mountain, but they could not find him. In the end, they decided to go to the royal palace to present the slipper to the prince. When they arrived at the palace, Heidi and Clarissa met the prince and Cinderella. Cinderella told Heidi and Clarissa that she was the owner of the slipper. Cinderella was very happy to meet Heidi and Clarissa. She felt that they were true friends. Heidi and Cinderella became close friends. They spent a lot of time together, and they were always laughing. And so, Heidi, Cinderella, and Clarissa lived happily ever after together. The end. This story teaches us that true friendship can transcend any boundaries. If you like the story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video with friends please. I love you.